We're joined by Walt Hill, who is Executive Director of the High Plains Mental Health Center in Hays, Kansas. You've been following along the last few weeks. We've been talking about mental health, dealing with agricultural mental health, those on the farm and ranch, but also rural Kansas, and just kind of the general overall state of what's going on. And Walt, this time around, probably one of the toughest subjects to talk about is, and we've kind of maybe danced around it a little bit. We talk about some mental health concerns, but one of those is death, is suicide.
Yes. Unfortunately, depression and some severe mental health problems, if untreated, can wind up with someone totally losing hope and taking their own life. It's unfortunate, but it's a reality. It's a fairly, statistically, we see more folks involved in farming and timber and fishing occupations committing suicide than any other occupation. Folks in our part of the country, the suicide rates are higher. It doesn't have to be. There is hope. People can get treated, but unfortunately people do take their own lives, and it's their own decision. People around them should not feel guilty or responsible. People make those decisions on their own. We hope to get them help, but I've had people in my life who have committed suicide or attempted, and it's very difficult, but you can't feel responsible. You can feel very badly when it happens. Families feel very badly. It's hard to talk about, but sometimes it's the most important thing to talk about and not keep it as a family secret. I know in my family, some situations were such that it was a family secret. We have to talk about it or it's going to continue. There are support groups. They're around churches. Various organizations have support groups for family members who have lost someone to suicide. Sometimes going to a counselor themselves when you experience this, because people feel guilt that it's their responsibility. The most important thing is we, as a community, give the message that there is hope, that we train people to recognize the signs and symptoms, get people the help if at all possible, ask the difficult question. And this is probably the most difficult thing I'm going to say, is it's okay to ask someone, are you feeling like hurting yourself? Are you feeling like committing suicide? It's the last thing that people are going to ask, but it's the most important thing, and you cannot avoid it because you may save someone's life by asking that question.
And if you hear that request for hope, maybe in a different form than something outright, we need to take those seriously. Yes. Even if you think it may be, oh, he's just joking, she's just joking, may not be.
Never take it as a joke. People typically do not joke about that. They may say it in a joking way, but we cannot afford to miss one person who may be trying to tell us that. Let them be mad. I always say I would rather that someone be mad at me for the rest of their life than to die today of suicide. They can go ahead and be mad with me because I intervened. I reached out to them. I said, are you okay? Are you going to hurt yourself? And I get them help. They may hate me the rest of their life, but at least they're alive.
And there's a suicide prevention hotline as well. Trained professionals,
yes,
that know, can ask the right questions.
Absolutely. There is help every which way you turn.
Okay. Walt Hill, who is Executive Director of the High Plains Mental Health Center in Hays, has joined us. We'll have more coming up.